Welcome back to the Manor Entropians. Julian McBain here, and today I'm going to be doing a 15-ped mining run at the Corinth East Hangers. Let me show you where I'm at. Right here. I have spent so much time here. I love this area. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Please take a moment to subscribe, either down below in the description, or there should be a watermark box right in this corner here, where my cursor's kind of zooming around like an idiot. Please make sure you take an opportunity to subscribe. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, so this is actually my second run at videoing this, because yesterday, so today is Sunday, I'm getting all of the videos set up for my Texas trip, and I was doing this video. We had a thunderstorm overhead, and wouldn't you know, halfway through, the power snaps clean off. And I'm like, okay, I know it's going to cancel the vid and all of this stuff. I just hope that it saved okay. Well, it's saved. File's corrupted. You can watch it. You can't pause it. You can't move the cursor. Well, no, you can't pause it. You can't move the cursor around, but you can watch it. But the file is completely corrupted. I couldn't convert it. I couldn't do anything, so I had to nuke it. Kind of a shame, but it is what it is. There's someone in a quad wing. You know, understanding that the quad wing is twice as fast as the Sleipnir, it uses a lot more fuel. You know, in space it makes total sense, but over land, I can't justify using it unless I'm in a hurry. Like, I've done it. If I've been in a rush, or if my Sleipnir ends up getting, you know, accidentally storage united, which does happen. You know, it accidentally gets sent to storage terminal due to DCing or whatever. But overall, that's the reason I spent the pet on a Sleipnir, so I wouldn't spend the pet on the oil. And I'd recommend that any player who's looking at vehicles do the same, because a Sleipnir is probably going to cost. When I bought my Sleipnir, it cost me 40 pet, and my quad wing cost me 150. But the Sleipnir uses half the fuel. And so overall, I'm sure I have saved money for having the Sleipnir to go over it. And then I do use, like, I've been using the hover pod a lot more. And I'll use the hover pod over, like, the Jeep, because it's a lot easier. It's a lot more, it's easier to steer. It doesn't have the oversteering problems the Jeep has. I can go over water. That way, if I have to ford a river or something, I don't have to pick the damn thing up. And it uses, like, no fuel. It just sips at it. The only downside to the hover pod is it can't take passengers. You know, these things look larger than life when you start hunting them, and now that, because I've been hunting the stalkers out of Royal Club, they look tiny. So, I mean, when you're hunting them and you're at, you know, face level, they're pretty big, right? And then you go and hunt the stalkers that are like 3 times their size, and they're really not. So yeah, we're doing this 15 pet. I'm wearing the Turelian armor, one out of tradition. That's what I wore when I was hunting out here regularly, but it's like the perfect armor for hunting at this level. You gain the protection you need, but the amount of decay it's going to undergo is far less than, like, your ghost armor. And it looks cool. I mean, it's desert armor for a desert environment. It really is. Because it's Turelian armor. The Turelians live in the Turelian desert. Or at least they used to until the Dusters came along. And I don't know the whole lore. I've written some short fiction on it, and the developers of Cyrene like it. So I'm going to take that as a I can't take that as endorsement because it's not explicit, but I take it as a good sign. You know what I'm saying? So, speaking of which, it's been a hot minute since I've written a story. I really ought to do that. I've been focusing more on my expository writing. But I got a few projects I really need to finish up after I come back from vacation. There we go. Makes me wish I had a B101. You wouldn't think it would make a difference to have that, like, 1-point amp. You'd be surprised. That one extra damage over time makes a huge difference. And it's more efficient. You know, not by a huge amount, but by just enough to make that difference. Maybe we'll climb the plateau over here. Or the butte. There we go. Start climbing over here. Fragments. Fragments, fragments. Gotta love them like a hole in the head. But, you know what? I can still sell them. I know there are buyers out there. They don't sell for very much, though. It's like 30 pek per K. But a ped's a ped. Now, one thing about these guys is you got to be careful hunting them because, like, being a melee hunter, it's easy for me to get stuck in too far when it comes to hunting these guys. Because I got to be towing it with them. So, you know, if you don't have something to pull, like, when I was out here, I'd use Bookins to pull the mob, and then I'd use my Laconian sword, this guy here, to down the mob. And the benefit of doing that was I was able to pull the mob out of his herd, or pack, because these guys I really see as predators, so I think of them more as a pack than a herd. I was able to pull them away so that I wouldn't get surrounded. But even then, you can get stuck in, and then you turn around and respawns get you. And these guys have a fairly long aggro range. They're fairly aggressive. Not quite as aggressive as Sabakuma, who are kind of ridiculously aggressive. And I think they're one of the few creatures in this game that might be linked to each other. But they are aggressive. This area, and I was saying this in the last word, this is truly big sky country. Look at those stars. I used to live in a place like this. It's a town called Glendive, Montana. And it's basically a town of 5,000 or 6,000 people nestled in the Badlands. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Badlands are basically a northern desert. It's arid, semi-arid to arid. But you can have grass, so there's plains in there too. But the sand is just hard as concrete. Okay? It's not like the desert where you have like the dunes and the blowing sand like you see in the Sahara or if you're a Star Wars fan, Tatooine or anything like that. No, this is rock hard, concrete like sand. If you get stuck in the mud, you're losing your boots. Like hardcore. Oh. Looks like Livas is under attack. What do you think? Do you think with With 10 ped we can do it? Let's go find out. Gotta get there first without a vehicle. See if we can't sneak our way over. Probably not. But we can probably do it with minimal interference. And if we have to, we can always cycle the ammo. I'd rather not. That kind of screws with the numbers, but that's okay. Oh, that's right. They disappear. That's one thing, is that you'll see them on the horizon, but they're not actually there. And it looks like there is someone over there hunting. You can see the graphical issues. Like, you can't tell which ones are actually there until you get close enough. Okay, now for the fun part. Down the cliff we go. Just start clearing the Berycled horde. And these guys hit harder. Or, no, they don't hit harder. They seem to hit harder. They are shared loot, though. So if you're out here doing this mission, it doesn't matter how many people, how many people are attacking the mob. You're all going to get some credit for it. You have to clear the horde, and you have to find all the parts. So let's try to clear the horde out. The only downside is that you can't use vehicles, which means now that I'm stuck in, extracting myself is difficult. And you have to give Livas Outpost a wide berth if you're going to go around it. I know there's an instance somewhere in this area too, for Sabakuma. I need to find it again. For now, let's kind of look for the parts on the ground. Because the parts to the power generator are actually on the ground. It looks like the other player is right there. We can kind of see them in the distance. Viz. I think I've seen Viz before, so shout out to you. If you're watching this, please drop a comment, Viz. Heal up a little bit. There's usually a mechanical part here. You gotta find the 10 generator parts. And I'll be damned if I can figure out, like, there's usually one here. There it is. Yeah, there it is, right there. I do think these guys loot slightly better than the norm. And by slightly, I mean like 1%. Nothing to write home about. But enough to make up for the fact that they're shared loot and they're probably going to be splitting the loot. And the calculator for splitting the loot in this game is not terrific. And I think Mindark recognizes that. Come on. See if we can't find another one while we're killing this guy. They're not easy to see. This quest is actually put together really well, or this event. It's meant to be a challenge. And it's perfectly designed for like low-level players. I probably did this event a dozen times. And the reward is I think it's increased regeneration for a period of time. Now I'm kind of wishing I'd turned this into a 20 pet hunt. Just to have that leeway. See if we can't find the generator parts anywhere. There's one. But if you're new, if you're just playing this game and you know, you don't have a lot of experience out here, this is a great early mission. There is a, if you follow the storyline quest chain, you will end up out here. They get you out here. They give you the ports over here at the East Hangers. So it is worth doing. It is a pain. You got to take it slow. You got to be careful. But the skills you get doing this, you can't compare them. You need them. You know, put on some pixie armor, or even if you just have the TT armor. Every little bit helps. Or if you do what you should do and pick up a starter kit like I didn't. The Valkyrie, I think they're called Valkyrie armor. The armor you get in the shop is perfect to do the job. You just come out here, you do your hunting. You got to get the horde up to 100%. You got to find all 10 generator parts. Get your contribution up to 100%. You get the added regen. And you get all the skills to go with it, plus the loot from the Berycled. Come out here with some friends. You know, make some friends in game, or drag some of your friends in real life to the game. And I know there are some players that actually don't know how to find the generator parts. It took me 3 iterations to figure out that the generator parts were just scattered on the ground. I thought they dropped off the mobs, because I came from playing World of Warcraft, and that's how it works in that game. But it's not. And, you know, and maybe you're using the starter fat or the fat from Gaunt instead of the chip like I do, and that's okay. There's one. Let's see if I can't back this guy up to the part, because I'm going to get that other guy too. There we go. See if we can't locate the next one. It's all about catching the little glint out of the corner of your eye. My son is stupid good at doing that too, by the way. Like, any game. He has the ability to pick up details in any video game. Ask him to find something in real life, forget it. Typical 11-year-old. Ask him to find something in a video game, I'll be searching, he's like, it's over there, Dad. He's fucking blind. No, he doesn't swear, but... so blind. How did you not see that? It's like, shut up, kid. To be fair, he's been playing, you know, games at this type of level for most of his life. Not real cash economy games, but like, you know, I grew up on Mario, okay? There's a distinct difference in the amount of stuff you have to track. You know, the challenge of my life was the dam in the original Ninja Turtles, and boy oh howdy, I'd love to introduce him to that mess. Drop a comment if you ever played the original Nintendo Entertainment System Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you were traumatized by the dam. Because it was. Like, you're swimming in there and they've got the seaweed and everything kills you. Right? You can't touch shit because everything kills you. And it's instant kill. Oh no, I don't think it was an all instant kill, but it was fast. You didn't have room for a lot of mistakes on that level. And then you get to the next area and there's a whole bunch of instant kill stuff there. But as long as you got through the dam, you didn't have to do it again until you shut the NES off. And you were on a timer because you had to disarm all these bombs. Oh, God. It was, oh, jeez. It was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, looking back, I can understand why they kind of toned down the difficulty level on video games, because that was ridiculous. Come on. Almost got it. Where's that other player? Are they running away? Oh no, they died. Because there's a, yeah, this is where the regen point is. There we go. If you die, there's a crashed vessel back here that gets all the terminals when this activates. It doesn't have quite the number of terminals that the outpost has. I think it's missing one. I think you get a repair terminal, a trade terminal, and the revive terminal. I'm pretty sure the outpost here also has like a storage terminal. We will. It looks like we're going to finish this without having to recycle. That's awesome. So, you know, I remember this always being a pain in the butt because I'd always get stuck here. Like, I'd log out, I'd be in the area, I'd log back in, and I wouldn't be able to get out because I'd be stuck with this mission. That happened a couple times early on. You have to roll with it. But it is something that can happen. You just gotta be, you know, willing to roll with the punches. Sometimes it's the way it works. We need to find one more generator part and kill just a couple more Berycled, and then we're done. We spent less than 10 ped doing it because we came out here, we had 10 ped left. So this whole event costs like 7 ped overall, if you're doing it right. And that's with all the healing. There's one. Okay, last generator part. Now we just got to kill some Berycled. And at the end of the event, I don't think these guys automatically die. I think you actually have to finish wiping them out. Or mopping them up. And in fact, they might have already stopped respawning. They shouldn't have. Well, there's plenty here, so they could have theoretically stopped respawning. Looks like 2 more will do the job. But as you can see, like, the turret's not taking out those Berycled. They're like right on top of the outpost. Now we're gonna take out this guy and watch what happens. Because the outpost is sealed. You can't get in. If you look carefully, you can see the door is closed. Come on, stop dodging. And there you go. Oh, they did all die. And I get an increased regeneration. And the anti-vehicle zone goes away and we can access it again. And there we are. And this guy, when you talk to him, he's a jerk. No, he's not a jerk now, but when you actually do the quest, he's a jerk. It's like, hi, how are you? Of course you're going to prove me wrong. See, he's a jerk. No, I'm kidding. Oh. And there's Viz. Oh, and see, he's wearing the the Valkyrie armor. He's got that massive hammer. Looks like he's headed off into the desert. You want to be careful how far that direction you go. You start running into robots. We, on the other hand, are going to head back toward the East Hangers. We should have just enough ammo to get us back without having to use my Sleipnir, which to me would be a win. And then we'll do our count up. But as you can see, that was a pretty tidy event. Took us like what, 20 minutes? Nothing major. If you're newer, it'll take you a little longer. If you're out there solo, it'll take you a little longer. If you're brand new, I would recommend going with friends. These guys are tougher than the juveniles you find over at Icarus. They hit harder. So, you know, you grab 2-3 people. You guys just go out there and go as a group and just mop them up. You know, one Berycled at a time. You know, you put 3 rifles on a Berycled, even these guys, it's not going to take very long. Even if you're using like the TT rifle or, you know, pretty much. If you have 3 or 4 people out here, you could probably be using Rubios and be taking them out relatively easily. Just because of the volume of fire you're pouring into them. If you're out here, if you're all out here with the Bukins, you're good to, especially if it's adjusted, you're good to go. And it may not sound like a big difference. One damage per shot is not a huge difference until you start throwing volume in there. And volume makes the difference. Like, believe me, volume makes the difference. So, you know, when you're low level, it's always worth doing group hunts. It's always worth taking the time. You know, you get 5-6 people, even with low level rifles, you can be taking out level 5 and level 6, like Kerberos Matures, Kerberos Olds, the Providers. If you're just pouring, you know, you get 5 or 6 people, you're just pouring on rifle fire. You get into a group and you can do enough damage to make it worthwhile. Only one, you know, until the new quest chain gets resolved, because that's coming up here pretty quick. Only one of you are gonna get credit for the mission. You're all gonna get the loot. You're all gonna get the skills. You know, everyone take a FAP so you can swap around when you start taking damage. But it's there. You're gonna get the skills. It's good. It's all good stuff. Try to get back to the hangar. We're running low on ammo now. I don't like having less than 100 rounds. I mean, you guys know me. I like to have plenty of ammo to make it back. I mean, we can always convert. That's not a huge deal, but I don't like to convert before I do the count up. You're gonna pull. It's like, it's not even a question. You're gonna pull. See how they like to circle? You gotta counter it by walking into their circle. That way you can walk relatively straight. This is actually how I found the majority of my fruit, just walking backward. Trying to get back to a base. It's like, oh, there's fruit. There we go. We're clear. Alright, let's get to the teleporter and we're going to count up. I think I can hear engines. And you know, I was chatting with someone. I think it was in rookie chat. I think these hangars were actually originally meant to birth motherships, and people actually invested in them, and it was something that MindArc never actually executed. I've been in one of these. I have it in another video. They're actually pretty big. There's like a lot of space in there for the owner. But for the footprint to not implement them, it seems kind of silly that they never actually implemented them. Because these things take up a huge amount of footprint. I mean, just look at the, like, this is all hangars. And this, also all hangars. What's this again? Oh, the Hills Estates. Okay, so let's go back to Camp Icarus and do a count up. There's like 84 PEC left. That's a good one. Clear out my calculator here. Okay, so let's do a count up. There's the TT. Okay, so let's start with, what did we get? We got 10.88 PED worth of loot. Plus we have 84 PEC worth of ammo left. $11.72. So this one's looking to be a bit rougher. And then we dump all this in. So we took a 5.22 PED loss here. And that's pretty hefty. And I have to say it's probably because of the amount of healing I had to do. So this one was not quite as fruitful as the last two have been. Did I get the extra skills? Yes. Did it balance out? Probably not. And these things happen. But I think it was worth doing. It's always worth checking out and seeing what may or may not be hunting efficient. And keep in mind, the spend on these is 15 PED. That's $1.50. Each of these hunts has been $1.50. And I'm getting half an hour, 45 minutes of hunting out of it. So it's still not bad for low-level hunting. And I can still cycle the ammo. So I've still got almost 9 PED worth of ammo to use for the next hunt. So I mean, you can hunt for quite a while on a small amount of money. But that's neither. Okay. Hopefully next time it goes better. We've had a couple good ones. This one just didn't turn out quite as well. We did manage to do the Livas. Josh, that looks like GLaDOS from Portal, doesn't it? It really does, actually. Oh, it's a camera. Yeah, so now it definitely looks like GLaDOS. Sorry, tangents. So sometimes you win them, sometimes you lose them. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscriber at a time. So please make sure you subscribe if you are new to the channel. Guys, I really appreciate all the support. You all have a wonderful day.